The city of Carlsbad is experiencing major internal growth, which requires the accommodation of additional personnel within the operations and maintenance departments. The city proposes building a new Carlsbad O&M Center for the purpose of developing a facility that is more efficient to operate and is able to meet ever-changing staff needs. The facility is to be located adjacent to the existing fleet maintenance building and the public safety center with a size of 6.8 acres. The new center is expected to house 21,500 square feet of office space, 13,000 square feet of workshops, 33,500 square feet of outside storage house, and 10,000 square feet for warehouse use, and provide parking spaces for 288 vehicles. So when looking at the existing conditions, the majority of the land around the site consists of empty lots or parking lots for housing city vehicles, excess storage, and narrow interior roadways. The entire site is predominantly flat, but borders to the north and east the steep cliff face of Los Monos Canyon. The design area currently houses the Carlsbad Police Department, Carlsbad Fire Station 5, the safety training center, and the Carlsbad skate park. Presence of these services means that the facility experiences continual vehicle activity throughout the entirety of the day. So for this section, we'll be looking at traffic and parking. The Carlsbad Operations and Maintenance Facility expansion project needs to accommodate 288 additional vehicle parking spaces and be able to suitably accommodate the increase in pedestrian and cyclist activity that comes from this new facility. Much of Orion Street and Orion Way lacks sidewalks, ADA curb ramps, and pedestrian crossings that are neither sufficient to handle current or proposed levels of traffic. Nearby skate park generates a high number of children, teens, families within the facility, necessitating careful considerations of roadway alignments and vehicular sight distances. Carlsbad's fire department and police department accessibility also need to be accounted for in the design. We looked up trip generation and community data from Carlsbad's pedestrian and bicyclist master plans. We wanted to incorporate mass transit connectivity, especially since nearby intersections such as Faraday and El Camino Real had existing transit stops. Majority of the people using the roadway were employees of the facility. The level of service was A all throughout the times we evaluated. However, we wanted to address the pedestrian safety and concerns from what we saw on the location. We observed pedestrians using bike lanes and existing travelways in locations where it would have been beneficial to install a new ADA sidewalk. In short, we recommend installing new sidewalk along Orion Way, installing curb ramps following ADA guidelines with truncated domes, and a redesign of the parking arrangement within the facility to increase usable parking space to minimize vehicles from parking on the existing bike lanes.
The current site contains one main water supply pipe, which is a 10-inch ACP pipe starting from Impala Drive and running through Orion Way in a semicircular pattern. There is an additional 8-inch ACP pipe extending from the 10-inch ACP pipe, and it supplies water to the police station and the fire station. The training center nearby is supplied by an 8-inch ACP and a 6-inch ACP pipes that are also connected to the same existing 10-inch ACP pipe. The figure shown in the slide explains the whole situation. The total capacity of the current 10-inch ACP pipe, which is 3,687 gallons per minute, based on our calculations, the total projected peak demand for the 3 more buildings we're proposing is around 5,643.3 gallon per minute, which cannot be handled by the 10-inch existing ACP pipe. Therefore, to be able to provide this demand, we propose 2 alternatives. Alternative A is the removal of the existing 10-inch ACP pipe that runs through the Orion Way and Orion Drive. Replace it with a 16-inch PVC pipe. The 6-inch PVC pipe will be able to supply the 3 new buildings, which are the office, the workshop, and the warehouse, along with the fire station and the police station. This alternative is better in terms of improving the overall quality of the existing system and replacing hazardous pipe inside made of asbestos cement pipes into PVC pipes. Alternative B is keeping the existing 10-inch ACP pipe and adding a parallel 12-inch PVC pipe next to it. The 12-inch PVC pipe will supply the new office building and the warehouse, while the existing 10-inch ACP pipe will be able to supply the fleet center existing already. We propose this alternative solution because the first solution is very costly. This solution can be cost-effective because we're avoiding excavation and replacement costs. Besides that, fire station and police station wouldn't have enough supply of water during replacement process for the first 10-inch pipe. For stormwater, the purpose of this study is to improve the water quality of waterways by reducing the quantity of pollutants that stormwater pick up and carry into storm sewer systems during storm events. According to Carlsbad manual, since the project area exceeds 1 acre, a SWMP is required. The primary pollutant source on the construction site is disturbed soil and subsequent surface water runoff. BMPs will be employed to control erosion and sedimentation. There are a couple of solutions that we implemented in the site to improve stormwater system. First, replacement of the existing 8-inch polyvinyl chloride pipe that is located in area 1B within a 10-inch PVC pipe, because the existing pipe cannot handle the proposed discharge coming from the runoff. Solution 2 is to add a storage tank, and this is an alternative for water harvesting system. We're proposing to locate one above ground storage tank in an elevated site in north of Orion Street and by the new O&M Center location. This location will utilize flow through gravity and will direct stormwater to our proposed green areas. Solution number 3 is vegetation BMPs. These include a number of landscape features, including grassy soils and ditches, and can help reduce the peak runoff downstream in addition to reducing the pollution. Solution 4 is construction of detention basin in the southeast location of the project site at the lowest elevation point.
We'll next look at the environmental section. Existing environmental conditions of the site were analyzed to avoid any further negative impacts caused by the proposed project. Areas such as air quality, noise, hazardous waste, asbestos, biological environment, and water quality were analyzed. It was determined that the area of the site does not contain any severe environmental impacts, but the following recommendations were suggested. The removal of asbestos is recommended when remodeling or making major changes to the facility. This will help avoid the disturbances of asbestos-containing material. This should be done by a trained and accredited asbestos professional. Street sweeping is recommended to avoid pollutants from entering municipal stormwater conveyance systems. Avoid disposal of fats, oils, and grease into sewage system to prevent pipe clogging and sewer spills. And lastly, the formation of large puddles during rain events may cause the formation of insect habitats, especially during hot weathers. So the removal of such puddles is recommended. We will continue along the sewer section. There's an existing 8-inch PVC pipe along Orion Way and Orion Street. The existing wastewater flow produced by the facility is approximately 15,000 gallons per day. The proposed facility will have an office building, warehouse space, storage space, workshops, and a parking structure. It is assumed that each person will produce an average of 75 gallons of waste per day. The number of people on the new facility was calculated based on the area of the building and their corresponding California building code. The new storage flow was calculated to be 44,137 gallons per day. Using a pipe velocity of 2 feet per second, it was determined that the pipelines should have a diameter of 3 inches. The recommendations include the existing 8-inch PVC pipe does not need to be replaced, and we also recommend that pipelines used to dispose sewage waste should have a diameter of 3 inches. These pipelines will connect the 8-inch PVC pipe that passes through Orion Way and Orion Street.
So for the construction part, the project is roughly estimated to finish in 2 years. The cost of land development of the project is $2.6 million. Cost estimates were based on San Diego price lists. As far as permitting goes, there are many requirements for demoing a site-sensitive Carlsbad. Our team has to comply with all these requirements in order to get the permit and start the demolition process. These requirements are as follows: completed application and plans, completed stormwater documents, a mobilization plan, a letter from the property owner, demolition asbestos certification, San Diego gas and electric approval, and finally a waste management plan.
The proposed parking structure, administration building, material yard, and yard house are located as shown above, and the designs of such structures were not considered for our project. Instead, we focused on improving the facility's multimodal accessibility for users, providing suitable parking spaces for the facility, and possible drainage routes. To begin our designs, it was first necessary to clearly identify what utilities were present and create demolition plans accounting for what will need to be removed or remain in place. Pedestrian access to the facility was sorely lacking, and a main focus of the design concerned the addition of sidewalks and ADA-compliant curb ramps. Along with the parking structure, a total of 325 parking spaces are provided. Per Carlsbad code, parking spaces must be within 50 feet of tree cover, and ample vegetative area was incorporated into the design to meet these standards. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for choosing Inspired Design.